This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time. Content presented in the following podcast is for information purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and may not represent the views and opinions of the Whole Care Network. Always consult with your physician for any medical advice, and always consult with your attorney for any legal advice. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.
Hi, sweetie. This is Isabel Malgarejo, your host for Time to Care, the Caregivers podcast. Today, I want to talk about my company. So let's get started. A few days ago, I received a call from this very, very sweet lady, and she was asking me if I could go to her home and provide caregiving services. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can find someone that can help you out, but I don't do that. And that's why I decided to come here and talk about what I do at my business because I want you to experience what we're doing here at Tomacore. The name of my business is Tomacore, which is the beating of the heart. We named the company this way because yes, I had inspo from my sister. We were talking about that, and I was like, I want this to be a place in which people come and join, and they feel their heart beating again, and they feel alive again. That's what we want to create. So that's why we put the name of Tumacore. Core is more like core in French, which is heart in French. And that's why we named it. And before I named the company, I started this podcast, and Time to Care was already taken, and it was just easier to put another name. So that's about the name and what we do. Well, we help families plan the care of their loved ones. It can be any adult, basically, but we help them plan that future. And as you know, I'm a caregiver myself. My mom is still very strong, and I have noticed over the years that the care that she needs is different. When I started as a caregiver, she was very depressed. And the courage that she needed was someone to walk with her and someone to be there, just making sure that she was eating and getting better and that she was receiving the help that she needed. So that's how I started my journey, taking care of a broken heart, which is also another reason why the name of the company has the heart in it, because our hearts break when we are caregivers, and our loved ones' are also broken in some ways. And they break because it is very hard to get older and start losing your abilities, either mentally or physically. And this lady that called me, she was really worried. She told me that she had arthritis and that she couldn't do anything. And my heart kind of broke because her caregiver was going on vacation for a few days over the holidays. That's why we created this. And it's about creating the future that we want. And it's about creating purpose as a caregiver and helping our loved ones find purpose in their lives. I've also noticed that my mom has lost purpose in her life, especially after COVID. She was a very active woman. She had all these organizations that she was helping at, and she would never skip the gym unless she had something else going on. but she would never skip the gym. She was very active in her community. And after COVID, that kind of fell apart. She still works out, but she works out at home. She takes piano lessons, but she does that through internet. I really don't know how she takes those piano lessons, but it is through a computer. And her all her charitable work became online. The courses that she was taking in person, they moved online and she stayed online. So now she has lost a lot of purpose because she has lost the connection with the outer world. And I think we all did because we stayed locked up for a very long time. And I don't want that for anybody. I want people to find purpose in their lives. I want people to find purpose in every single stage of their lives. So that is the core of what we do. We help you find purpose as a caregiver. We help you plan the care. It is very, very hard to know what's going to happen. But if you don't have a plan in place, when things happen, you're not going to have as many resources as you could think of because you will have to make decisions right away. So we will help you and we will guide you to find those solutions for you. And I was talking with a friend the other day and we were talking about very technical terms like risk management and project management and all these things that we both know how to do. My background is as a project manager. I've been dealing with huge projects all of my life. And I know that when you don't have a plan in place, things happen and you don't know what to do. You just have to go with the flow of things because you can't have the time to look for resources and look for options. Another thing that is very important for us is communication. When I started as a caregiver, I didn't communicate absolutely anything that was happening. And my siblings, I'm pretty sure they would have jumped in and helped me out. And I didn't communicate anything for years. For more than a decade, I didn't communicate absolutely anything. I would communicate huge stuff, like mom is getting surgery. But if it was not the huge stuff, I wouldn't communicate absolutely anything. And I don't think that was fair to either my siblings or to myself or mom or anybody. Because the burden of carrying all that information with you and not knowing what to do, it is very heavy. So that is something else that we do. We help you build and we help you create and have difficult conversations. They are not easy. Believe me, every time that I start, I feel constricted. I feel like I can't just say what I need to say. But when I do, I feel so liberated. It's like, oh, so relaxing. And I want that for you. I want you to be able to have those difficult conversations with your siblings, with your parents. We help you understand what your loved ones want so you can honor their wishes. For many, many years, I didn't know what my mom wanted. She did her thing and that's it. But how are we to honor their wishes if we don't ask what they want? How are we going to give them what they want if we never asked? If we've never touched the financial part? Like, how do we know that we're going to be able to provide the future that they want if we don't know if we can afford it or not? Who is going to be the community that walks with you? You as a caregiver, you need a community that will walk with you, that will be there for you. And unless you know other caregivers, it will be very hard to find someone who understands what you're going through. And for your loved ones, I recently heard this older lady telling a friend of mine that every year that she felt more isolated. The older she would get, the more isolated she would be. And you know why? Because we never pay attention on building a community for our loved ones. I was really close to my grandma, and I saw how she lost her friends over the years, one after another. And later in her life, she had no friends. She wouldn't go out because she had no friends. And instead of looking for new friends, she just got more isolated until the only people that she had were her kids. And we need to find those communities and that tribe, that community, that your people that will walk with you all your life. And that's what we help you to do. We help you discover the kinds of things that you want to do and to be, so you can start surrounding yourself with those kinds of people. If you want to run a marathon, or if you have ever run a marathon, you're not going to be surrounding yourself with dancers. You most probably will start looking for running clubs, and you're going to start downloading running apps, and you will start running with people that also run, and that becomes your tribe, that becomes your people. And also, as a caregiver, you need other caregivers with you, but you need the right caregivers. You need caregivers that are enthusiastic and positive, so they don't fill your head with negative thoughts and negative feelings. And you need your loved one to have a tribe as well. What do they do? Do they like building puzzles? Maybe a couple of friends can join and they can share puzzles together. Maybe it is crocheting, so a crochet class might be perfect. And even if your loved one is a pro in crochet, just going to a class and sharing her knowledge would be amazing. So that is important as well, and that's something that we help you build too. We help you design that life that comes after retirement. Because the first years of retirement are very easy. You travel, you're with friends, you go places, you're go, 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 go. But when that season in life is over, and when you're not traveling anymore, and when your spouse is not there for you anymore, what are you doing? Who do you want to become? And that person is who you are, who you want to be, and what you do. And those are two very different questions. Who you are, who you want to be, and what you do. And you as a caregiver, you need to prepare yourself not to be overwhelmed. And you need to share with others your journey, and you need to share this journey with probably your siblings or other friends that can be there for you when you need it, that can give you the support that you need. That is crucial for you. So, in conclusion, we help you with 3 things in Tom Core. The first one is finding purpose, is working with your mindset in finding the purpose, making peace with the reality you thought you would have and it is different. The second part is the planning. What's going to happen? Prevent things. Make decisions ahead of time. Know if A happens, you can do A, B, C, or D. And then you have options. It's creating those options. So it is planning. And the third part is the self-care. Self-care includes the community that you have and how you're going to take care of yourself. And a lot that we talk about in this podcast is about how you can take care of yourself. I talk a lot about self-care in the first place because it's something that I really enjoy. And because many times those are things that I'm lacking hugely in my life. And the other reason that I do it is because I know that you as a caregiver, you don't prioritize your self-care. You prioritize everything else, and you leave self-care all the way to the end. So those are the 3 things you can find at TomCore. So if you're interested in any of those, if you think you can find a new purpose in life, if you need help with your self-care, or if you need planning, anything, absolutely anything, reach out, get a session with us, and let's talk about what we can do for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the last episode of the year. And as the year closes, I can only wish you a very, very happy new year, and hope the next year brings you lots of joy, lots of self-care, and lots of purpose. See you next year. Bye-bye.
This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time.